All right, everybody, I'm back for a brand new DC update. And this is one of those rare morning updates for me. And we now have definitive proof that Zack Snyder has not moved on and that if given the opportunity, he absolutely will finish his saga with Justice League 2 and 3. He had an interview with a Mexican outlet, and he actually has a quote, an actual quote, in this article, unlike what Variety did, or not Variety, but was it the Hollywood Reporter? At any rate, there's too many different outlets. But I believe it was the Hollywood Reporter that did his interview 2 weeks ago, and all that stuff blew up, and they said the Snyderverse was over. Well, he has a newer interview where he admits he will do it under one condition. So let's take a look at this article. It was in Spanish, so I have translated it to English. So let's take a look. All right, so here is the interview, and you can see that it's from Cultural. I don't even know how you say this. But anyway, I translated it to English, and here's what it says. So it's Culture Leisure is actually the outlet, and this was just published yesterday, or today, Tuesday, the 12th. So it says, Zack Snyder is open to continuing the DC Extended Universe that he himself started a decade ago. The filmmaker built a franchise with which he aspired to compete against Marvel, and in which he directed titles such as Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman. With the new DCU that James Gunn and Peter Safran are projecting, said saga will be discarded and inactive after the premiere in a few weeks of Aquaman 2. But the director has confirmed that he would be totally willing to reactivate it and create new projects related to DC characters. In an interview given to CultureLeisure.com, Snyder, who ended the Snyderverse a few days ago, confessed that he would return to the DCEU, although under one condition. If Netflix had the rights to the characters for my DC universe, of course I would do it. Absolutely, reveals the director. That is a direct quote from Zack Snyder himself. And precisely the streaming platform dropped this possibility just a few days ago. Scott Stuber, president of Netflix Films, stated that they are open to this possibility, although they recognize that it is complicated. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Obviously, we would like to obtain the license at some point. We would love to have it so that the fans can experience more of Zack. The more Zack we have, the better we will be, noted the executive. All right, guys, let's talk about this here. All right, so there you have it, guys. Zack Snyder is totally willing to do this, but he's not willing to do it under Warner Brothers. And this is exactly what I said when that interview came out, and you have to watch what they say in these interviews, and you have to read between the lines. They're very careful about what they say, and the Snyderverse, if Netflix is given the opportunity to do it, he would come back. And I told you, he's not going to do it under Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is doing their own thing. They've totally scrapped it, and Warner Brothers is in really bad shape because we're going to look at a couple of other photos that I grabbed since my update yesterday, and they made a move that I think is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't see the upside to this. I mean, there's an upside to the audience, but there's not an upside to Warner Brothers other than the fact that they are grabbing for any money they can get. But let's talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League specifically. So people talk about IP licensing and how costly it would be, and that they can't have different versions of characters running around on different networks, but they can. They absolutely can. They can't do it for individual characters. Like, they're not going to sell just the Batman IP to Netflix. What they can do, though, is they could take the whole, and this is why I think, and this is brilliant on their part, this is why I think Zack Snyder's Justice League was listed as Zack Snyder's Justice League, because they can now license Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 to Netflix. That is a lot easier to accomplish. It's still a little complicated, but that is a lot easier to accomplish than trying to sell off one character or all the characters at one point. But they can sell off the whole Zack Snyder's universe to Netflix. It is 100% possible. And if they want to appease the fans, that is the way to go. Now, Stuber, the head of Netflix, says they are interested. I showed that in a video last week as well. So it's going to be a matter of Warner Brothers being willing to play ball and allowing that to happen. So the door is definitely not closed, guys. It is going to happen. But let's look at a couple of other photos that I grabbed since yesterday. So this is the thing that I think is absolutely ridiculous. It says Warner Brothers and Tubi have signed a deal to bring all DC movies to Tubi to stream for free, including new releases like The Batman. Now, for anybody who is not familiar with Tubi, it is a free streaming network. It's an app that you can download, and you can watch stuff free through it. And there are commercials, though. You can't watch it without commercials. And this is how they make their money, is through the advertising. And then that money would go off to Warner Brothers. Now, this is a way that they could show Batgirl at some point in the future. They can't sell it, but they could show it on a free platform like Tubi. But will they allow that to happen? Probably not. But this shows you how desperate Warner Brothers is to make money, that they're willing to take this advertising revenue from Tubi to license their stuff over there so they can make money. They've now licensed them over to Netflix, now to Tubi, and they're probably going to do it wherever they can get it so that they can bring in as much money as possible. Like I said, there is a likelihood that they will be sold next year. Now, we're also going to look at a response that James Gunn had to a fan on social media just yesterday, which I think is hilarious. So someone was commenting on all these characters going into Superman Legacy, and this person said, "No more, please. We want a Superman movie." And then he laughs. And James Gunn goes on to say, "What single protagonist movie doesn't have more than 10 speaking roles? There will be more." So he's confirming they're going to even jam more characters into it. The guy said, "Yeah, I get that, Mr. Gunn. I'm talking about keeping the focus on Superman. It's starting to look like a DC superhero roster movie. All the OG Superman movies had one superhero and worked. Just saying." And James Gunn goes on to say, "We aren't those movies. We're us." So basically he's giving the middle finger, saying we don't care what the fans want. We are doing what we want to do, not what the fans want to do. Like I said yesterday, he just needs to get off of social media. Stop interacting with people. This is not clearing things up. It's not helping. When you have a big majority of the fan base telling you they want a true Superman film and you're ignoring them, and this is what Warner Brothers did for years after Man of Steel, and we were finally going to get that after Black Adam, and then boom, they blow everything up. And then they announce this big reboot. Oh, they're going to start off with the first Superman solo film and then they jam it full of all these characters. The same thing that all those haters said about Batman versus Superman. This film has too many people in it. There are too many characters. James Gunn is incapable of focusing on one character. He's incapable. He's never made a movie or a TV show where he focuses on one character. He can't do it. And so, yeah, guys, there's a lot of stuff happening out there right now. And if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and damn, we're on this roller coaster ride together. I will be covering everything moving forward with DC, with Netflix, with Zack Snyder. I've also put in to get Rebel Moon tickets. It looks like there's going to be a showing next Tuesday at 7 p.m. that I'm going to try to get to. I've put in to get tickets, and so my review will be up as soon as I see that movie. I'm hoping Fandango still sells it for this Friday. Their website keeps saying there's going to be tickets for this Friday, but I don't see them going up yet. I keep refreshing it, and I've been checking for days. But anyway, there's my update for now. If there's any more big news that gets revealed over the next, throughout today, I will do another video later today if I need to. I do appreciate the support, and we will see you on the next video.